You see, what has happened to the removed Chief Justice is a blessing in disguise. She had no business being the Chief Justice in the first place. She misconducted herself. And I believe that we must applaud that brave Ghanaian called Daniel Ofori, who took the matter, who petitioned the president, and the president acted on it. You see, we must encourage some of these things. And just like my brother Honorable Suheni was saying, we have overlooked the relevance of the petitioner and focusing this whole business on the president, as though the president was the one that petitioned, as though the president could have done anything apart from in consultation with the Council of State, establishing a prima facie case or otherwise. Mr. Daniel Ofori is not a minnow in this country. He has more to lose should this country fall apart than anybody, because he is the single largest investor in our stock exchange. He is the third largest investor in Ghana Commercial Bank, third largest in MTN, third largest in EcoBank, fourth largest in SIC. So who would downplay such a man? And who can do politics with such a man? In any case, if it was about politics, Mr. Daniel Ofori, I know for a fact that he's an MPP member. So why would he go after someone who was appointed by an MPP administration? Our politics is evolving, and these are some of the things that develops a nation. That when something is not going right, after all, Senator, you and I and all of us sitting here, we don't have any chance of becoming a Chief Justice. Our only interest is that the right thing is done. When he petitioned on the 17th of March and the president received it, the beauty of democracy, before we could even say Jack, there was Vincent Assefa, who was not privy, who had no issues, or who was not directly affected by the petition, go to court. I don't know whether he was looking into the crystal ball or whatever, to know that indeed the Chief Justice had not received a copy of the petition. He went to court for the Supreme Court to injunct the whole process. It was in line during that period that the president said, well, I was already going to give it to the Chief Justice, and so this is not a matter. In fact, the petition was made available to the removed Chief Justice, and instead of 7 days, she was given 10 days to even respond. I hope you remember that. Which I disagreed with the president. If it's 7-7, the bonus was not necessary. 7-7, but the president said 10. Beyond that, the response together with the petition were submitted to the Council of State for a determination of a prima facie, which was done. These are all constitutional matters. After that, the Constitution says the Chief Justice may be suspended. I'm not sure it was President Mahama who wrote the Constitution for this country. So the Chief Justice was suspended, and in that, a committee had to be formed. Was there no committee? Yes, a committee was formed. Look, if you are looking for someone who has taken it on the roller coaster on a very bad line, then is the removed Chief Justice. She was so lawless. So that what the Constitution says, matter must be heard in camera. It means in camera. In fact, beyond the Constitution, the Ejechu case also makes it clear that in camera is in camera. We had this Chief Justice who came into the public to come and describe what all that was happening at the committee level. And even on that occasion, she lied to the people of this country that she had no clue about the petition that she was being tried on. Thankfully, some of us have, through our ingenuity, have gotten hold of some of the proceedings that took place at the committee level. That she herself, be it in under cross-examination and examination in chief, admitted that she had received the petition. So what was she in the public domain doing? Saying that she had not received a copy of the petition. In fact, her own witness number 9, which is Sophia Akufu, the former Chief Justice, also admitted. But we will get to her situation in the later part of this discussion, because if you don't put things right, Senator, people will take it for a ride. Now, Mr. Daniel Ofori raised 21 issues of misbehavior. Senator, not just one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 issues of misbehavior that she could recollect, she could recount, backed by evidence. 10,000 evidences were submitted. Pages. Senator, can you imagine 10,000? Hey! Look, those that want to trivialize the matter, they must understand it clearly. We don't need anybody to tell us that it's so high or so low. A judge can in prison take somebody's right from you. Are aware of that? Yeah. You that can take somebody's right of him or her, you want us to measure you with a low bar? Because then it is assumed that you were a saint. Before you can say someone is a sinner, you must be a saint. So the issues that were tried, financial impropriety, the travel policy is so clear that when you are embarking on your private holidays or travels, you go with your security. So that this one, were you the one that wrote it? It is for a reason. Because when you are going to do your private business, anything can happen. So that the state can fall on the security personnel that you would accompany you in the travel. But whereas in the public or official travels, you are not mandated to go with your security, because you know why? In official travels, your security is in the hands of the host nation. So that way you can go with your family. It's as simple as ABCD. And the Chief Justice had known this all this while. You took your husband and your daughter from Arusha, Tanzania, to the United States of America. We were paying them per diem. Set up per diem. You and I are tax revenue. Now we can't even file in the courts. Not knowing all the filing fees that have gone up, we are only using it to pay travel allowances and per diems. So justice delivery is becoming the preserve of the rich because of the what? The extravagant lifestyles of these chief justices. Are you with me? You paid per diem to your husband, you paid per diem to your wife, and the law is so clear that this is a crime. Those that are saying that it's not weighty are telling us that though it's a crime, we must allow it to go. Then what they are telling us that they must go back to the prisons, and everybody that has been in prison must be allowed a second chance. That given the opportunity, they will not do the same again. That's all that they are telling us. If this is not shameful, if this does not smack of people who are not honest, then what else? When the Chief Justice realized that she had no case, she started doing propaganda in the public space, amply supported by some elements within the new patriotic party. Not all of them, some elements, selfish ones as such. No wonder Afenyo Markin came and said that he was mourning democracy. Why wouldn't you mourn democracy? If you could go to court at 12 o'clock and by 3 o'clock a decision was in your favor and you were doing everything left right under this tokonu, why wouldn't you mourn? Because you may never get a Chief Justice who could talk to your whims and caprices. So you will mourn. We were in this country when this Chief Justice told us that your birth test couldn't even determine whether or not you were a Ghanaian. We lived with it. And so, the president has behaved within the confines of the law. And so far, all those that started criticizing, that were doing emotional business, said, have you heard anyone being able to pinpoint any legal constitutional provision that the president flouted? Look, we must not be quick to wish this president's downfall. When he fails, all of us have failed. it is in our interest that when he's doing something wrong, we point it out. But when there is none, nobody must make it a business to try and create one. That will not be good. We must help him to deliver. So that there has been commentaries after the removal of. By the way, she has been removed both as a Chief Justice and as a Supreme Court judge.
Yes.
And as such, she's still pursuing it at takeover. She needs $10 million from this country. I don't know whether the Ministry of Rules, your budget is more than $10 million. But there is a ministry which budget is less than $10 million. The Chief Justice wants a ministry's budget to go and chop. The Chief Justice. So she can go and pursue the ECOWAS court case. There is also one at the High Court and even the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court, the matter has not been determined. It was the injunction aspect which was determined. So she still has an opportunity to, as it were, go through the process. But she must understand that in Nigeria, as recent as 2019, what got Walter Onojin out of office as a Chief Justice was his inability to file his assets. Shall I get the drift too? Not being able to declare his asset declaration got Onojin out of office. Because you see, when you are Chief Justice, that is what you must be sacrosanct. This thing happens, the people of this country are happy that the laws of the land are working. The next moment you hear is Madam Sophia Akufu invite the media and do a one-on-one. That was Ghana's day of shame. This country is so liberal. So that I am very shocked that she's still at position. She's still at post. I can't come to terms as to why she is still a member of the Council of State. So has it crossed your mind that the establishment of the prima facie case was done by the president in consultation with what?
Council of State.
Is Sophia Akufu not a member of the Council of State? Was she not part of the consultation? In fact, I managed to get her testimony before the committee, and when you read it, Sarah, you wonder why the woman did what she did a day after the whole the removal process. First of all, she admits, in fact, she admits before the committee that when you go to the Council of State, she is in charge of the constitutional, the legal, and the petitions committee. So every petition that goes to the Council of State, it goes to her first. Under cross-examination, the petitions lawyer asked her whether she received. He said, yes. Were you consulted by the president? She said, the president consulted me. So I was in the know. She was even asked, was the petition handed over or sent to the respondent or the Chief Justice? She said, yes. So how can you be the head of the legal, constitutional, and petitions body of the Council of State, close with all this information, and still do what you did? Hey! Now she was asked in the case of Charlotte, say she single-handedly made that determination. I would be that she had a case to answer. She was asked whether she used Article 146. She said yes. So what problem there is with Article 146? It has been used to remove an electoral commissioner. Fortunately, Sophia Akufu did it. Some judges have been removed based on this same Article 146. Why then do we not create the impression that this is the first time we are using it? It's been used in the past. The only difference is that this time had to do with the Chief Justice of the land. And so I would disagree with anybody that would say that it has to be difficult to remove a Chief Justice, a Speaker of Parliament, or President. It has to be very easy. It must be so easy. Hey. So that you think it's difficult, so you come and misbehave and we can't remove you, and you become a Mobuto here. You come, you behave well, you are there. If you do not behave well, you go. So the former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu was not being truthful to the people of this country with her outburst in that interview, because she had known, or we were told that the voting pattern at the Council of State was 30-0 or 1. I would say even 0. 1 abstained. No, 30 and 1 abstained. We don't even know for a fact whether she was the one that abstained. If she was the one that abstained, it even makes the matter worse. Because it's either blue or green or white. You cannot be in the middle and get the person is purple, is this, is that. No. If she really believed that there was no case to answer, she should have woman up and then say that I am voting against it. You have said after that means you either agree or disagree. That was a coward position. And after all these things, you come back and tell us that I am being honest. What is honesty about? Who made a minister for honest in this country? Honesty. Who has given her that title? If you want to play your role in terms of solidarity, fair deal. Affirmative action. Women in politics, that's fine. Old boyism, being a gay, that's fine. She's coming to occupy your position, that's fine. Or she was occupying your position, that's fine. But don't try to twist. But what the woman did beyond the financial impropriety, look, in the Jackie Kwesi matter, an innocent soul, Francis Baden, an innocent soul, just a deputy ICT director who had no clue about what was happening. You accused him wrongly that he had tampered with evidence. You brought in, when someone tampers with evidence, the Court Act has a way of dealing with that person. You ignored that. You brought in the national security, including the National Signals Bureau, to investigate the matter. After that, you set up a committee. When the committee went into the matter and realized that the man had done nothing wrong, they recommended that you reinstate Francis Baden as a deputy ICT director. This woman wouldn't do. She just transferred the gentleman to Tamale to be in charge of court processes and his servants for Northeast, Savannah, Upper. The man, they had no clue about court processes. You did that to that gentleman. Fosuji about the lawyer, how he has suffered in the hands of Tokonu. What about the judges that she was transferring by heart with no reasons? A judge could be on the matter midway. So no, you have to take you off. All these things have happened in this country. If former President Akufo-Addo had taken the petition of Kwaku Azar serious, we wouldn't have even gotten to this stage, because Professor Azar was so clear, was so spot on, that as a Chief Justice, you cannot single-handedly together with the President nominate for us justices of the Supreme Court. You have to do that in consultation with the Judicial Council. She did it in this country, but President Akufo-Addo saw nothing wrong together with the Council of State then, but Ghanaians lived with it. President Akufo-Addo's problem was that Professor Kwaku Azar, before the petition got, President Akufo-Addo had leaked it. So he was flipping through all the laws of the land to even see where he can nail Professor Kwaku Azar and throw him in any of the jails that he could find. That was where his appetite was, and not the government of the issues that had been raised by Professor Kwaku Azar. Let's be truthful to ourselves. And people are saying that our judiciary has been working. Hey! Judiciary has been working. So for me, to go down, we have a time with destiny. This decision, the unborn generation, we will be gone, and they will come and read it, and they will know where the truth stands. I believe the president has to be commended. I believe that the next Chief Justice must take a cue that nobody would allow such things to happen. And now when you come to the office, you must behave and behave according to the provisions of the law. And all those that are making commentaries thinking that they can play on the emotional keyboards, Ghanaians have moved beyond emotional keyboards. Ghanaians are now looking for development, what will strengthen our judiciary. And the judges in there who have been taking us for a ride, they must know that if the Chief Justice could be petitioned and will be gone, their time is also will be up very soon. I'll end it here.